We have been through this too many times.
Too many years, too many decades now.
Hillary and I are profoundly shocked and saddened by the tragedy today in Littleton, in Southern California,
by the news of the shootings at Virginia Tech,
Roseburg, Oregon,
Texas, Parkland, Florida,
Michigan.
We are praying for them.
Laura and I and many across our nation
our entire nation is
are
praying for the victims
and their families.
Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Monday, March 27th, 2023. Welcome to day 797. A 28-year-old woman shot and killed 3 children and 3 staff members at a Christian school in Nashville before being shot and killed by the police. Her name was Audrey Hale, a resident of Nashville, who was armed with 2 assault-style rifles and a handgun. The White House said enough is enough. How many more children have to be murdered before Republicans in Congress will step up and act to pass the assault weapons ban, to close loopholes in our background check system, or to require the safe storage of guns? This is still a developing story. Moving on, Trump threatened potential death and destruction if he's indicted by the Manhattan grand jury that's investigating the hush money payment made to Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign. In a late-night post on his personal social media platform, Trump called Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg a degenerate psychopath, while wondering aloud what kind of person can charge another person with a crime when it is known by all that no crime has been committed. Meanwhile, the former publisher of the National Enquirer testified before that same Manhattan grand jury. David Pecker, who previously served as CEO of American Media, also testified in January about how Michael Cohen asked American Media to buy the rights to Stormy Daniels' story in order to keep her from publicly disclosing it, a practice known as catch and kill. The grand jury adjourned Monday without taking a vote on whether to indict Trump and is scheduled to meet next on Wednesday. In related news, a federal judge ordered Mark Meadows and other former Trump aides to testify to the grand jury that's investigating Trump's attempts to overturn the 2020 election. Judge Beryl Howell rejected Trump's claims of executive privilege to block more than a half-dozen former administration officials from responding to grand jury subpoenas issued by special counsel Jack Smith, looking for testimony and documents. In a separate decision last week, Howell ordered Trump attorney Evan Corcoran to testify in the classified documents case under the crime fraud exception, which allows prosecutors to work around attorney-client privilege if they have reason to believe that the legal advice or services were used to further a crime. Judge Howell's order noted that Smith's team had made a prima facie showing that the former president committed criminal violations. Trump is expected to appeal the sealed ruling. Meanwhile, the Fox News producer who sued the network, alleging that she was conditioned and coerced into giving false testimony in the $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit brought by Dominion Voting Systems, has been fired. In the amended complaint, Abby Grossberg says she was fired in yet another thinly veiled act of retaliation while expanding on her earlier allegations about impermissible coaching and coercion by Fox lawyers, bias, unprofessional behavior by staff members, and discrimination by the network. Grossberg wants to correct the September 14th deposition that she gave about the network's coverage of Dominion Voting Systems, which she says was inauthentic given how Fox News was fraudulently inducing her to deny facts she knew to exist. And finally, Kentucky's Democratic governor vetoed a Republican bill that would prohibit transgender minors from receiving gender-affirming care, such as surgical procedures or the use of certain hormones. The bill would also ban discussion of sexual orientation and gender identity in schools and would allow teachers to refuse to refer to transgender students by their preferred pronouns. The Republican majority state legislature could still override Governor Andy Beshear's veto. And in the polls, the Wall Street Journal says 38% of Americans say patriotism was very important to them, down from 70% in 1998. 39% said religion was very important, also down from 62% in 1998. And Monmouth University says 44% of Democratic voters say they want Biden to step aside in 2024, while 25% want Biden to run again and 30% have no preference. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Anditas.